Hey guys, today we're going to be going over a team composed of Empoleon, Drapion, and Dragalge. So the way that this team works basically is it's a very high fast move pressure team. So you're going to be putting your opponent in a position where even if they have shields, they might still succumb to fast move pressure. And so you can see a really good matchup here with Wigglytuff, which is also a heavy fast move pressure Pokemon, but the charms are going to be resisted. So it's a winning matchup. And then I quickly go into my Drapion, anticipating that they wouldn't swap out immediately and that I would get some free Poison Stings of damage. They swap out into Mandibuzz, so I threaten the Sludge Bomb in order to hopefully get a shield. I don't get a shield, but I get off the Aqua Tail. And then you see there that I threw one Poison Sting before throwing this next Aqua Tail. And that's basically so that I only give my opponent one free turn as opposed to two free turns if I did two Poison Stings, because that would be 4 turns and then the opponent would get 6 turns worth of damage. So here you can see the heavy fast move really coming to my advantage, because I'm not only able to farm down the majority of that Mandibuzz, I'm also able to farm down the Wigglytuff with those double resisted Dragon Tails. And so I got a lot of energy. Whatever comes in is not going to like this Outrage. It's a Nidoqueen, so I could have gone for the double Aqua Tail, could go for the Outrage. I decided to go for the Outrage. It doesn't matter. These Dragon Tails just do so much. They're not even going to get off the Earth Power, so they lose. Next, we have Empoleon into Mandibuzz. This is a positive matchup, especially if I have Air Slash, but I immediately switch into Drapion anyways in order to clear out anything that Dragalge might be weak to. And they do have Air Slash, so this is very good for me because Air Slash Mandibuzz is also good for Drapion, because Drapion will now be just completely outpacing it to these Aqua Tails. It basically gets to 2 Aqua Tails every single time they get to a single charge move, and they're throwing ineffective aerial aces. So this is very good for me. The Air Slashes do a little more damage than Snarls, but still not that much damage. And now, yeah, this crunch is going to be really nice. I immediately switch into the Dragalge that will be resisting these waterfalls. And now I plan to farm all the way down. I shield up this Psychic, hopefully no debuff, and I don't get the debuff. So I'm going to farm all the way down, and that's some really nice farm there. They come in with Empoleon, and I go for the Outrage. They're probably going to shield this, but I already almost have another Outrage. So I throw. They get in a free waterfall. They shield up that Outrage. And so now my Empoleon is healthier than theirs, and I also have a shield advantage. So I can throw this Hydro Cannon at this Mandibuzz, no worries. And then I should be in a pretty good position. I just need one more Hydro Cannon. They're going to need to throw 2 more Hydro Cannons to take me out. I only need 1 more waterfall, and I'm able to get the Hydro Cannon. Next, we have Empoleon into Mandibuzz. So once again, I switch out. This time it is Snarl, but the thing is they switch into a Nidoqueen, and they gave me like 4 turns worth of farm. So I'm actually going to outpace this Nidoqueen so much. And the second that they threw that Poison Fang without baiting the Earth Power, it was over for them. Because they can spam me with all these Poison Fangs that they want to. They're not going to win this switch at this point. Because I can get off so many of these Aqua Tails that even if they shield here, I can get off another Aqua Tail, and then they lose. And there are 2 shields down. So I actually aggressively swap into the Empoleon, and they bring in a Surfetch, and this Surfetch is going to die to this Drill Peck. So shields down, their Surfetch really is just Empoleon food. Surfetch goes down, and then they have to throw on my Empoleon because they do not want to eat a Hydro Cannon, and I recognize that, so I shield, get off this Hydro Cannon because it'll do more than the Aqua Tail on Dragalge, and I recognize that I couldn't get to the Outrage on Dragalge, so I may as well shield up the Empoleon and get off that harder hitting move. And so once again, these fast moves are going to take down this Mandibuzz, no problem. And so the Nidoqueen comes in, I can just throw this Aqua Tail. I could have probably also taken out the Nidoqueen with fast moves. Now we have Empoleon into Surfetched, so I'm going to farm up. I'm going to get to the Drill Peck, they're going to throw here, and I decide to shield, and I decide to store the move so I can get off a Hydro Cannon on something instead of throwing the Drill Peck onto Surfetched. And so I'm going to outpace this Registeel to these crunches, and so I should be able to defeat this Registeel if I want to. We'll see what I do. Get off this crunch. Get off this Aqua Tail because the defense fell. So now I'm going to get him nice and low. And I can shield here. I don't shield. So I'm probably going to go into Dragalge, and then the opponent makes a critical mistake. They thought I was going to go into Empoleon. They're hoping to snipe me down with Surfetched, but I didn't want to go into Empoleon. I shield up there just in case they had something that could threaten me, but it was just a Leaf Blade. I could have easily survived that Leaf Blade. So here comes in Frostlass, and yeah, let's see what happens here, because they're definitely going to shield because they can't survive the Aqua Tails and the Dragon Tails and the Aqua Tail. And now I think that they're going to get to their Avalanche, and that's a good game. Yeah, if only Empoleon was a little bit bulkier, then got to the Shadow Ball. Yeah. So an Avalanche would have killed there, so it wasn't all that close. They could have just thrown the Avalanche. Empoleon into Raichu. It's a terrible lead, so I switch, and then they stay in very interestingly against the Drapion. And they're going to almost die to this crunch if they don't shield. So they shield, and they take so long to switch out. They have so much energy against this Registeel. And this time I think I'm going to aim to win the switch because I have so much energy. They immediately get the defense fall. So let's see if they shield here. If not, this crunch will do big damage. They don't shield. So now I'm thinking maybe I can get away with an Aqua Tail because they'll be pressured to shield. Let's see what happens. And I go for the crunch anyway. They're probably going to shield this. Yeah, the Aqua Tail would have been pretty safe there. But I get to this crunch anyway. So take them out. No big problem at all. So that's me winning the switch very cleanly with Drapion with just a little bit of energy. Even though Registeel is super bulky and double resist to poison stings, still not able to withstand the Drapion. And so you see there, they actually got to the other Aqua Tail, so I could have potentially Aqua Tailed. But I decided to farm down with Empoleon, immediately switch in the Dragalge, and this is a pretty straightforward hard counter here. Because I'm going to resist everything except for the Psychic, so I do have to look out for that. But I realize that they're not going to get to 2 Psychics, so worst case scenario, they Psychic, drop my defense, and then they Wild Charge, but I still think that I would have survived that Wild Charge. So here we have Empoleon into Haunter. This is a pretty neutral matchup, but I'm going to be outpaced, so I immediately switch into my Drapion, and then they throw the Shadow Punch here. So no reason to throw the Shadow Punch. That's going to be resisted, going to do no damage. And then this Crunch is going to take them out. So they have to shield. And then they come in with Lantern, so Empoleon doesn't have to see it, which is great because Lantern completely walls Empoleon. So what's in the back definitely doesn't want to see Drapion then, if they bring in their Lantern when they could have saved the Lantern for Empoleon. So I let them take me out because I'm just really glad that I'm not facing this on my Empoleon, and all of these charge moves are going to be resisted on Dragalge. So easily it's that Thunderbolt. It's going to take one more Thunderbolt. Nope, doesn't take the Thunderbolt. So yeah, really good win there. And I think that they're going to shield up these Aqua Tails because of the pressure from the Dragon Tail. And so now I can just farm this Haunter all the way down. Don't have to shield. Shadow Punch doesn't do that much. And they might have gone to another Shadow Punch, so I just throw the Hydro Cannon just to be sure. And then they have to throw against me. You're going to see here that the Avalanche does take me out. Not quite, almost takes me out. And then I can go for the Outrage, and that's game over. So next we have Empoleon into Victory Bell. This is a bad lead, but luckily my two back Pokemon do very well against Victory Bell. So now you're going to see that I got a little bit of energy advantage, and so I'm going to get to these crunches nice and safely before the Dugong gets to his Icy Wind. So because I have that slight energy advantage, I should actually be able to defeat this Dugong if they don't decide to shield. And they don't decide to shield, very luckily for me. You just go straight for this crunch, and they're going to let me take them out. Why are they doing that? What do they want to come in with? They want to come in with the Victory Bell again. Okay, well, that energy isn't going to go very far because I have a Dragalge. And so here we're going to see how much better of a fast move the Waterfall is in terms of damage output, because I'm able to outpace them to these, I'm able to outdamage them. You can see how much less damage I'm getting done to me proportional to how much I'm doing to them. So I'm able to farm all the way down, get a lot of nice energy. I can throw that at the Victory Bell. They're going to shield, and then my Dragalge can just come in. Even though this Aqua Tail's resisted, I may as well just throw it because the Outrage would be overkill. And now they're just going to Acid Spray me here, which does nothing. Okay, so this is the one where my app actually crashed. So I immediately reopened the app thinking that this was a lost cause and I was going to lose the game. But you can see here that they're actually staying in on me with an Air Slash Mandibuzz for some reason, which is very strange. So even though my game crashed, because they're just staying in like this, essentially just allowed me to break even again. And they're staying against the Drapion. So I'm assuming that they're not going to stay in this whole time. They're going to switch out at some point. They throw the Foul Play incorrectly. And they're staying in. And because of that waterfall damage, I'm actually able to win this matchup pretty safely. I'm going to outpace. I'm going to get off these neutral Aqua Tails. They're forced to throw the weak Aerial Ace. So I should be in a safe position to win the secondary matchup. These Air Slashes aren't going to be doing enough to take me out. So we're going to see what they want to do. Do they shield this? They do shield it. And so I immediately come in with Empoleon and snipe them. And so now I'm in a very good position because they're shieldless, and I can get off this Hydro Cannon onto this Obstagoon, deal huge damage, almost take out the Obstagoon, and then come in here with my Dragalge to finish them off. And I'm up 2 shields to 0, even though I came into the game so late. So I let this Night Slash through, and there's a Nidoqueen in the back. So up 2 shields to 0, not much Nidoqueen can do against Dragalge. I'm going to get all the way to the Outrage. I'm going to throw the Outrage, and this is going to kill. So even though I lost time there, I don't know what the opponent was thinking. There's no reason to stay in against a Empoleon if you have Air Slash as a Mandibuzz there, and then give me all that farm. So this is a positive matchup because I resist the confusions, and even though the Thunder Punches are going to be doing super effective damage, they're not going to do all that much. And Hydro Cannon is such a good move that it's going to do almost as much. And because I got in that Waterfall, I'm actually going to tie to this next charge move. So nice and cleanly, I get 3 extra turns of damage, and I don't give them any extra turns of damage because they throw. And I do shield this. And this is getting a little dicey, so I'm going to... Oh, they actually swap first. So I'm getting a little extra farm, bring in the Dragalge, and they're forced to go for these ineffective mirror shots. I actually caught a mirror shot unintentionally. Unfortunately, get the attack drop, but because mirror shot is such a bad move, I'm still able to win this matchup. They just keep going for mirror shots, and they're not going to win like that. I'm going to be able to fast move them down. Even this mirror shot's not going to kill me. So even though the Dragon Tails are resisted, it's such a good move that I'm able to fast move them down. I throw the the Aqua Tail immediately, anticipating that they come in with their Hypno, and they catch onto Blaziken, which is super nice. I don't know if they're trying to catch a Crunch, but they caught the Aqua Tail, and the Aqua Tail does the majority of the Blaziken's damage, the Blaziken's health. And this Drapion is just going to delete this Blaziken in 4 turns, or 8 turns. So Empoleon into Pidgeot. This is a great lead for Empoleon. So they swap immediately into Drapion. And I stay in because this is a pretty positive matchup with an energy advantage. I throw the Crunch, and now I swap out into my Dragalge because Dragalge easily beats Drapion, especially with a nice chunk of damage taken out of the Drapion there from the Empoleon. And you see there, I get the defense fall. It's not going to matter because these fast moves are just going to completely overpower the low fast move pressure of the Drapion. I don't even need a shield. So once again, just cumulative fast move pressure winning me switches very easily. And so the Pidgeot takes me out, but now I can just come back in with the Empoleon. And so this is a very tricky matchup because these drill runs are going to one-shot me. And these crunches are also going to do a lot of damage, especially if the defense falls. So I'm in a pretty okay spot here if I just keep outpacing them to these Aqua Tails. But you see they get in a counter there, so that means I don't think I'm going to outpace them to 2 Aqua Tails. So I just let it go, and then I counter them down, I waterfall them down, but because they got me so low with those counters, I'm unfortunately going to die to fast move pressure. So Pidgeot, also a good fast move pressure forcer, kind of a, forcing the win because they have such good fast move pressure. So we both instant switch, which is great for me in this situation because now we should be equal in energy, but as you see here, they actually get to their Shadow Ball before I get to my Crunch. So that lag really cost me a lot. luckily they let through that crunch, and I'm just going to outpace them to those Aqua Tails. So even though I did lose a good couple turns of fast moves, fast move energy gain, I was still able to win that secondary matchup super easily. And now I have the alignment that I need, because it does turn out that this is an Air Slash Mana Buzz, luckily. So best scenario possible for me, I can just come in with Empoleon, I bait out their Registeel, and oh boy, Registeel is the bait game of the century, because if they successfully bait with a Flash Cannon, they're going to be able to outpace me. So let's see what I do. I shield this up, and it's the Focus Blast. So now they need to get to a Flash Cannon and bait successfully. So here I outpace them, and now comes the question of whether to shield or not. And I correctly don't shield. So, it's really a 50-50 game, but no shielding there allowed me to win up the match. And so I go into Dragalge, and the Aqua Tails plus Dragon Tails once again, just a constant flow of nice, heavy, high-quality damage. This Aqua Tail plus the Dragon Tails afterward should be easily enough to take out this Mana Buzz. Yep. So I had 2 Pokemon in the back that were still healthy enough to take it out, so safe win there. I'm going to immediately switch out this Obstagoon, as usual, into the Drapion, and they stand for a little bit, and then they bring in Frostlass. So this Frostlass is not going to outpace me because they lost energy advantage. I have quite a substantial energy advantage, so all I have to do is shield, and I'm going to outpace them to this crunch. I expect that they let this go because I'm going to outpace, but they don't. They shield, and now I'm going to get to this next crunch. And they have to double shield, but they don't. And so I'm in a pretty good position here. I can get to this Aqua Tail, or I can switch. I just aggressively swap into Empoleon, and they have a Whiz Catch. So really great that the Dragalge isn't going to have to see this, because I can get to this Hydro Cannon and deal so much damage. They're forced to throw again. I can come in with Dragalge and farm up, because they shouldn't get to another move. No, I bring in Drapion to take them out. I can just take them out with this Aqua Tail. Now I bring in the Dragalge. And so the Dragalge is going to have a winning matchup with this Obstagoon. Unless the Obstagoon boosts, in which case we're going to have to do a little bit of teamwork with the Drapion coming in as well. But luckily, they decided to go for the Cross Chop. So that was definitely a mistake by them. Cross Chop being the worst move, doesn't get stab, and doesn't have the chance to boost their attack. So that won me the game. If you have an Empoleon, you want to try out this team, let me know how it goes. I highly recommend this team. Once again, just making it so that fast move pressure plus charge move pressure is going to be doing that heavy damage no matter what you face, is going to ensure you the win. This was my first time using Empoleon. I just actually built the Empoleon on stream. Super fun Pokemon. I had a ton of fun playing it. It's just the waterfalls and the Hydro Cannon combined is just so terrifyingly efficient in terms of damage. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to join me on Twitch, I stream every morning Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, come say hi. Thanks. Bye.